offering other adjacent services? Because while you're right, you're not devaluing, you're not changing the price point. What you are doing is
Mhm.
giving more for less, right? So I don't know if you have any other examples where people are moving towards that, or is current just a sort of an outlier in terms of doing that?
Yeah, no, I mean, so Corin doing it with OPS, Lima doing it with more physical product, if you will, with the Ortho Align system. We had looked at, we never did it in the end, but we looked at creating a partnership with Materialize, the patient-specific instrument company, and we were exploring that model as well, to give away free personalized jigs with our knee replacement. I mean, the way you package it and label it, you don't say it's free. You just say, our knee comes with this X, Y, and Z. So it just looks like you have more value in your system for the same price. Another company that Stryker did something a little bit different, not quite packaged with their knee replacement or hip, but they would often go with procedural pricing models to a hospital to say, if you do 100 hips or 100 knees with us, we also supply you with the saw blades, the pulse lavage system, all of the consumable products that you need during that operation. We also supply those for you. They didn't necessarily give them for free, but they put it all in one big package. So it's like every hip and every knee you do will also be supplied with a saw blade, a pulse lavage system, et cetera, et cetera. Cement,
Yeah.
If your product has cement, so we couple our products with cement. We don't necessarily give it away for free, but we make the whole package more advantageous than it would be if they were to get it from two different suppliers.
Yeah, that's clear. And do you find, I don't know if you're familiar with the current system, or if, obviously you're familiar with your own and potentially Stryker.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that sort of sells? Do you think that's, I don't know, do you find that's a helpful thing for the customer? I mean,
Yeah.
does current differentiate through being able to offer that, or do you feel that the customer eventually sort of just chooses what they want, not necessarily minding of that?
So the truth about it is that there's a growing consensus in the community now with surgeons that they believe a hip is a hip and a knee is a knee. Any self-respecting company in this industry should be able to provide a hip and a knee that works well and survives 10 to 15 years. This is how surgeons are thinking about it. So what they care more about now is, the instruments. How much of a pain is this thing going to be to put in? Is it complicated? Is the theater nurse going to be hanging over my shoulder and asking me to assemble the instruments? How many trays do you have? So they care a lot about instruments. So that's the number one thing I would say. Instruments sell product these days. The product has to be good. That's just the baseline. Instruments sell the product.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can supply something that will make that operation run smoother, be more enjoyable for a surgeon. You remember, he's doing 5 of these cases on a list, You give him, if he has one bad case, that's his whole day, he's in a bad mood. So they're looking for things that make their life easier, essentially, on that emotional level. Does Corin achieve that with their OPS system? Arguably, no. It doesn't really change the operation. It's more of a toy, if you will, for the surgeons, so they get to use these fancy 3D planning tools, and they can look at it on their iPhone, and so they can do all their planning when they're on the train, in the car, or whatever. So they like that at the moment. It's fairly new still, so time will tell. With the patient-specific instruments, with Materialize, Zimmer did a very good job with that in the past. And yes, that makes a big difference in the OR. You can save 20 minutes in an operation with a case like that. So surgeons love that. But it's becoming cost prohibitive to do it. So that's why most companies haven't pushed it. It's quite expensive to do. So yeah, if you can add value in the OR, then yes, absolutely, it works.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Sorry, Tim, I interrupted you. You were I'm also
No,
conscious of the time a little bit.
No, it was actually just going to say that I'm through with my questions. If anyone has any questions left, so that was perfect. And I think if Eugenia, if you don't have any more questions, I think we're good for now.
Great.
No, from
Perfect. It is